Hey everybody, this is Quentin J. Parker, your pilot, and we are at Trenton-Robbinsville Airport, November 87 in Robbinsville, New Jersey. And this is going to be our launch point for a flight to Reagan National in Washington, D.C. And along the way I'm going to talk about Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. I'm going to be all over the place, so I'm asking for patience from Jump Street. I got a lot to cover. All the ground crew is animated, and the aircraft marshalling is interactive, which we'll see later. Trenton-Robbinsville traffic. Cirrus November 68502 is taxiing to runway 29er, south departure, Trenton-Robbinsville. Even though I kind of remember my Piper Warrior's landing light not being terribly bright in the real world, the landing light in the sim is next to useless. The airport parking area markings need help. Hell, the airports also need fencing. And the ramp area needs lighting at night. How did that get past them? Trenton-Robbinsville traffic. Cirrus November 68502 is taking runway 29er. Immediate departure to the south, Trenton-Robbinsville. My install experience was pain-free, so a heartfelt shout out to all those whose download and install attempts rendered this DOA. Y'all deserved better. I took part in the alpha testing, and based on that, the only upgrades I made for Flight Sim were my Wi-Fi card, going from speeds up to about 300 megabits per second at 2.4 gigahertz to 2,400 megabits per second at 5 gigahertz. Gangster! And the other upgrade was just more storage, which I was long overdue for anyway. I'm running at ultra settings, and rig's current configuration has this video performing between 48 and 25 frames per second. I tuned my comm radios to Trenton and Northeast Philadelphia to get their ATISs, but nothing came through until I took off. Since I'm definitely in range of both, but I definitely didn't get anything until I got closer to the top of the tree line. I wonder if line of sight reception is modeled.
All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Quebec.
A lot of what's added to X-Plane to make it great is provided out of the box in Flight Sim. In most cases, compared to X-Plane, Flight Sim is brighter and has more vibrant colors. It's just visually appealing. The skyscapes are to die for. Most of the screenshots, pre-release and now, are generally of aircraft between cloud layers during a fiery dawn or at dusk. The cloud consistency is great. They don't appear, disappear, or reshape upon weather refresh. In another flight, there was a cloud formation way out just over the horizon that was still there when I got in that area. I went up to about 16,000 in the SR into icing conditions. While I'm not sure if hypoxia is modeled, the whole airframe iced up, and I am definitely here for that action. I feel like Flight Sim's graphics have achieved what no previous version of the sim has. That is, expanded the niche market to appeal to mainstream gamers. This kind of worried me, as the only sim pilots more hardcore than civilian pilots are air combat pilots. And we had knuckleheads coming in all the time just to shoot down or crash into other players. I feared a repeat of that on the Microsoft servers, but it seems you can't collide with other planes. Sweet. Still, it's a good practice to keep your head on a swivel, particularly in crowded and popular areas. Looks like Philly International has about 5 inbound over South Jersey and somebody outbound over downtown Philly. While the released version has come a long way since the last alpha, when it was announced that they were moving the release, I knew it wasn't ready. It pained me to not tell everyone so. I knew the release was going to be problematic, and here we are. The menu and tooltip labels are both mightily annoying, but despite all the numerous settings and graphical controls, there's no way to turn them off. There's no one-touch screenshot key, though I could probably get around this by actually programming my hotests instead of just mapping keys to blank buttons. There's no IFR stats in the pilot logbook. I might have to experiment with TrackIR settings. It's super smooth in X-Plane, but feels somewhat draggy in Flight Sim, and I don't know why. On my wish list is airframe rattling from engine vibration and simulating active noise reduction to minimize the engine sound, because that gets old after a while. It's not like I'm sitting in an open air cockpit or something. Everybody's got their story about how bad the autopilot is. Here's an example. So you can see that my backup altimeter is really off, so I'm trying to sync it with the primary. But if you notice, the backup attitude indicator is creeping nose down, and the airspeed indicator is creeping up. And when I go to stabilize the altimeter, I look up and boom, I'm in a dive. So as best as I can deduce, the autopilot altitude hold was taking its primary instruction from my backup instrumentation. That's insane. I'm not a fan of this SR22. You know, there's next to nothing about this plane that is Cirrus specific. The nose wheel doesn't cast her, but instead steers like another plane. The Cirrus engine screen isn't modeled. Caps isn't modeled. How do you have a Cirrus SR22 and no parachute? I'm not sure if it's just the Cirrus, but the fuel burn with full throttle and fully enriched mixture is suspiciously light. Leaning the mixture at 9,000 feet has zero impact on engine performance. Not gonna lie or downplay it. Having flight crews of color and women is a major plus for me. I took a screen capture of the black male pilot and applied it as my social media profile picture. Didn't have my friends congratulate me by saying it was about time I got back into the cockpit. Yo, with that ball cap, we dead ass do favor each other.
Washington Airport Information Uniform 210.
Not here specifically, but sometimes the ATIS is spoken too fast to be understood.
Sky condition. Few clouds at 900 feet. Few clouds at 4,800 feet. Few clouds
Going
at
forwards, my
12,000
go-tos might have to be either the TBM 930 or the DA62, because the Cirrus it's just a lazy render. It should have never been included as a premium deluxe item.
Landing and departing runway 19er. VFR aircraft
I think I will attempt the river visual approach. So we're going to punch in Fergie and start our approach from there. Going to begin a leisurely descent so I can arrive at the Fergie fix at 3,000. I wonder if we violated legal separation. Washington Tower, Cirrus SR22, 4 miles northeast of the Fergie fix, 3,000. Inbound with uniform, full stop landing.
Number 68502 Washington Tower. Fly straight in runway 19er. Altimeter 29er decimal 74 wind 29er 1 at 6.
You know, I kind of missed interacting with Flight Sim's ATC. I never thought I'd say that. Reagan National, number 68502, is wondering if I could get the river visual for runway 19er. Just gonna pretend he said yes. River visual, runway 19er. Series number 68502. Okay. There's the Taylor Naval Research and Design Center and the American Legion Memorial Bridge, so we're 10 nautical miles out. By the chain bridge, I should be at 1800. I'm guessing that's the Georgetown Reservoir on the left, so that means I'm 4 miles out.
Cirrus 502 cleared to land runway 19er. Wind 221 at 10.
Cleared to land runway 19er, Cirrus 502. Gotta avoid the prohibited airspaces east of the river. Those blocks go from the surface all the way up to 18,000 feet. And here we have a high-rise in the place of the Washington Monument. Obviously, I expect that to be fixed either by Microsoft in a SOBO or a third-party add-on. The Pentagon. Check it out.
500.
One of the things about Flight Sim is that you can start on the runway. And it would be real nice if you, I don't know, took off rather than be a hazard for other pilots. But again, as I said, since you can't collide with another player, screw that guy. That's right, I did it. Treated him like he wasn't there.
Cirrus 502, contact ground on 121.7.
Tower 502 going to ground. Good day. Reagan National ground, Cirrus number 68502, clear of runway 19er, request taxi parking.
Cirrus November 68502, taxi to general aviation parking via taxiway Charlie.
Taxi parking via Charlie, Cirrus number 68502, thank you. Yep, what do we got here? Want to race? Huh? You want to go? You want to go? I ain't afraid of your engines, punk. I don't know what it is about this sim that makes me hostile. Okay, like I said earlier, the aircraft marshalling is interactive, so as soon as we get someone's attention, there we go, that guy. Got his attention, he's got mine. I'm gonna pull in towards him. Signaling for me to come to my right, his left. Okay, I'm on line. Come forward. Come left. Or come right. Come forward. Come forward. Forward and stop. All right, shutting down, and he's gone. No more need for him. Straight up, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 is visually stunning, but it needs tons of work under the hood. It's like the vapid pretty person who doesn't have to try too hard because they know they can skate by on their looks. It needs to mature, And I'm curious to see what it'll be like after 2 or 3 years of patches, fixes, add-ons, and plugins. But right now, I need more flight simulation from Flight Simulator. Now, please understand, this is not to say that I consider it a game. For me, there's no sim versus game debate. It is a flight sim. It's just not as strong as I'd like. Having said that, what does that mean for the Logbook channel? Well, basically, I'll use Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 as a VFR simulator that showcases the simulated world, especially the custom airports and some notable landmarks. But for the foreseeable future, X-Plane will be my primary flight and SR22 simulator. To that end, I'll still be doing videos using X-Plane. I kind of feel like I should reshoot the Logbook intro. It feels real obsolete now. Alright, that's all I have for you guys. Again, this has been Quentin J. Parker, your pilot, and I'll catch up with you crazy buggers. Laters. I'm out.